I don't really care what you have to say. No politician in America, Europe, nobody would ever die like that. I'm not saying Sinwar was good. I think he would actually, from what I know about him, I think he would actually agree that he might have deserved punishment. But no politician, no leader ever would be caught actually fighting until the very end, throwing a rock or a stick or whatever at a drone in his final moments. And it clearly illustrates the massive power dynamic, the massive imbalance of power between a sovereign, a state like, I country and, Palestinian resistance. It's pretty obvious that there's such a massive power. It's just, it's so clear. In a million years, you would never see Joe Biden. You would never see any Ben Gvir. You would never see any of these people die for anyone else but themselves. Like, they would never lift a finger. And I don't know. It's weird because, again, because of October 7th, I think the people that perpetuated it should be held accountable. And again, I think they would agree, actually. But at the same time, I will always support righteous struggle. Your politician will never do that for you. To
be honest, you guys, if I was fighting for a revolutionary cause and my last moments were caught on camera and you literally see me sat in military fatigues, my fucking arm severed off with a rifle in a house that has just been bombed, mind you, and the drone is there and I'm sat and my last effort, my last thing of resistance, my last commitment to the revolution is throwing a stick at a drone, so be it. Say what you want, hate him, love him, whatever. Keir Starmer would never die on the front lines. Rishi Sunak would have never been there down with the troops on the front. Any military leader ever, any prime minister or political person apart from revolutionaries would never ever be on the front lines. Do you think Biden would be there in his military fatigues fighting drones to the end of time? No. And the fact that they released that footage, that really harrowing footage of his last moments, as if it's this gotcha, as if that didn't sum up Palestinian steadfastness in its entirety. He's there, arm severed off, still fighting, whilst the IDF literally fight with drones and bombs. And I don't want to hear anything ever again about how they have precision strikes and precision technology, and that's why they massacred 500 people in a refugee camp to kill one leader, because we saw his entire face on that drone. That is the technology that they have been using this entire time. They have known exactly who they have been killing from the jump. From the fucking jump. So every single time they have killed 500, 400, 1,000 people in one bomb strike, it was fucking intentional. They had the technology to do better.
I don't think I've ever seen anything more heroic and badass as Sinwar's last moments. So he's in a building that's being bombed, surrounded by troops, there's tanks outside. They're all scared to go in and get him, so they send a drone in to take pictures of his face and see who it is. He's thrown whatever he's got in his hands at the drone. He's still fighting. This is a 62-year-old man born in a refugee camp because his family was ethnically cleansed from the land. He's been agonized by occupation his entire life. He's fought for the resistance his entire life, whether with arms or whether in spirit. And we're getting told all these lies about him, that he's hiding in tunnels, that he's some billionaire that's living in Qatar and doesn't even care about his people. This man fought till his last breath to free Palestine. That was his goal, to free Palestine, to have a Palestinian state. The group that he was part of even tried to change the strategies over the years. They tried peaceful means, they tried the March of Return, they tried everything. The only language that the Zionists understand is resistance. And resistance is a legitimate right. All occupied people have a right to resist. There is nothing wrong or illegal about it. They have a right to fight back. It's their land. They should be free. They shouldn't be living under an apartheid system. And Sinwar is a hero. And he will be received as a hero all over the world. And you'll never
You guys are bragging. So excited. The whole diaper army was so excited to brag about the elimination of SINWAR that you accidentally kind of self-owned by getting a little ahead of your skis and releasing the footage of it. Because let me get this straight, Santa. Your footage, the drone footage that you released in the photos, debunked your own lies. You guys said that he was currently hiding in tunnels, handcuffed to hostages, when in reality, he was on the front lines, fighting for his people, for his land. And in the house that he was in was above ground and only had other militants in it. So again, human shield lie debunked. And then you show the drone footage in celebration of this. And this is what happened, you guys, for those who may not know. They didn't even know that it was him. They were just walking around doing what they usually do, looking for people to target. And they saw them. So first, they fired on all of them. And all of the militants that were in the house with them were killed except for SINWAR. So they're like, oh shit, he didn't die. So then they started firing.
SINWAR wasn't killed in a targeted assassination. He died fighting on the front lines alongside his people for the liberation of the land he loved.
They tried to paint him as a rat hiding in the tunnels behind the hostages and civilians. They even told us he fled to Qatar, but he never abandoned his people. He died in the most honorable way, facing the enemy on the ground as a fighter. This is who you call a coward? Your leaders are running for their lives to go and hide into their bunkers every time they hear the sirens. Your people are fleeing the country in panic on a daily. But a man, a leader, who fought by his people, facing the Israeli war machine face to face till the very end. A man who literally used his last strength to throw a stick into a drone that the occupation forces sent into the building because none of the soldiers was brave enough to enter it themselves. This man is a coward?
Yahya Sinwar lived a hero and died a hero. This drone footage of his final moments will inspire generations of freedom fighters to come. Only those who are devoid of values fail to realize that by murdering heroes, they inevitably immortalize them. Long live the resistance.
Well, right now, the world is paying attention to what Israel is bragging about, having killed Hamas chief Yahya Sinwar on Thursday. What was your reaction to hearing that news? And do you think it'll change the course of the war in any way? Does it give you any hope that Israel may wrap up its genocidal operations anytime soon?
I don't believe that Israel was after Yahya Sinwar, because when they killed him, they did not know. This is what they say. They did not know that he was there.
Yeah.
I mean,
they checked dental and DNA records.
And you know, Mahdi, this is very important for everyone in the world to know. If Israel killed Yahya Sinwar, who they have been running after for about a year, if they killed him without knowing that, so just imagine how many people have been killed without Israel knowing.
Yeah.
And maybe how many prisoners, Israeli hostages, have been killed without Israel knowing that they were inside. So it means that Israel is just doing the killing. They don't care who they are killing, how many people are killed. But they just want to keep killing and killing and killing, because this is how their state was created in 1948.